How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with your, again, charming host, Will Nealon. Today, we got the one, the only, Quinn Preston. One of the captains on the hockey team, a captain on the lacrosse team, and a member of the track field team. Quinn, how's it going today?
Hey Niels, man, it's going great. Super stoked to be here. When I heard you guys were doing this, and I got the email, I just had to cancel all my plans, and I got on the first plane here. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it. Appreciate that. Plane, that's not getting covered. That's coming out of your pockets. Yep, I forgot to mention that earlier. But no, empathy. When I say the word empathy, what comes to mind?
Yeah. Empathy is a big part of my core beliefs. I think the ability to recognize and understand people's problems and their emotions is a big part of, interacting with humans and kind of understanding their point of view and their emotional distress. I think that's a big part of connecting with each other.
Yeah, like empathy makes a huge pathway.
Makes the world go around,
Exactly.
That's what I always say. That's my favorite saying.
makes those deep-rooted connections. So yeah, now gonna start. Well, we all know you play sports. I play sports. A lot of people play sports. But now, like, sports used to be real, and I said this in the last interview as well. Real hard nosed, like no mercy. You're just going out there and just trying to kill people. But now, like, empathy can actually create better bonds. Like me and you, like we were teammates. We created a bond.
I think we still are teammates, Niels.
Oh, that is true. We both play lacrosse. Like, creating that bond can lead to chemistry on the field, which can lead to better play, lead to more wins. So, first question: how valuable do you believe empathy to be, not just in sports but in life?
Well, it's like I said before. I believe empathy is it's a good tool to have in your arsenal. Just in public relations, and if you want to go into business, or you're dealing with people every day in the workforce or on the field, and being a leader, I really try to connect emotionally with all my peers and all my teammates, and not everyone is the same. Not everyone's wired the same, so everyone's going through something different. Everyone's struggling with something else. Some people take more things serious than others. So it's really, understanding your team. I think a big part of when I lead is I kind of think or just joking around with some of the boys, I know not to go too far with this guy, or don't say this, don't say that. And I think it's just kind of understanding who they are and what kind of person they are goes a long way. Because the more you understand someone, the more they're willing to open up and trust you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really great. Like a lot of leaders nowadays, for example, like I said, like Steve Kerr, he coached the Golden State Warriors, 4 NBA championship, leads with empathy.
Great guy.
Exactly.
And I'm back in 2006.
Another person who leads with empathy is Brian Dable, former coach of your New York Giants.
Who's your? You're not mine.
Well, my New York Giants.
Okay.
Recently got the boot because he didn't perform. Yeah. But 2022 Coach of the Year, primarily led with empathy. It's we could see these examples of leaders who primarily lead with empathy and have had success in their sports. Who's going to argue that 4 NBA championships in a 10-year span isn't success?
Doctor the hand.
Yeah. Got rings on pretty much every finger, considering the thumb isn't a finger. Well, when speaking, we just talked about leaders. Is there any leaders that you've had that led primarily with empathy?
Yeah, leaders who I've had, Will. I think of a guy I don't know if you know him. He goes by D-Bone. That's how I know him. Yeah, he's a really big empathetic guy. He's really big on emotions and kind of that human connection. And I'd say that he's probably one of the more empathetic leaders that I've had the pleasure of leading with and being led by. So I've known him for quite some time, and he's always been like that. He's always put people first. And some people might say he's greedy, Will, but in that greed, there's a heart of gold in there somewhere. And I think that's part of his core beliefs is he believes that everyone should be treated the same. And, you really got to admire that, Will. You really do. You could ask anyone, any former teammates. You yourself, former teammate of Drew Betts, you can attest to how empathetic he is. He led by understanding the points of view of other people and really connecting with them. He's a guy who knows right from wrong, and he won't ever stray off the path. Yeah.
Yeah, he, like you said, guy who knows right from wrong. Like there's guys joking around, maybe going too far. They'll step in and be like, boys, like, how do we think this guy's feeling this situation? Yeah, like when someone might be joking around, being like, ha, 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 Drew, yeah, like he's a guy who'll step in there and be like, hey, come on, boys, how do we think he's feeling? Like, we've all been through that. Like, let's be honest, like in a locker room, like you'll get your fair share of razzing and joshing with some of the guys. Like I know I have. I know you have. And it's just like sometimes, yeah, like they'll be towing the line and then they'll hop over it a little bit. And
yeah.
That's where a guy like Drew will come in and be like, boys, like how, like let's tone her down here. We're all friends here. We're one big Trojan family, as we like to say. Now, some people think empathy is just something like within a team, but some people don't really realize that you can actually use empathy as a competitive advantage. Can you touch on that? Do you think you've ever used empathy as a competitive advantage?
Yeah, I've been on teams where, the only reason why we've won is because we're a closer knit group than the next team. And, I think we've played against a lot of teams like that. Most of the teams I've been on, I've had the privilege of, liking the guys and being pretty close with them. And I think that's a huge advantage when playing against a team that's just full of, like selfish individuals. A chain's only as strong as its weakest link. And when you have a pretty strong chain, it's hard to break.
Yeah, like in the words of our coach Josh Moore, an ounce of heart beats a pound of muscle.
Yeah,
and I think that can touch on like being closer with your teammates can beat teams that have more skill, more muscle. Like they might be more skilled on the ice, but if they hate each other in the locker room, they're telling each other like, "Dude, just get me the puck." Like, why are you trying to? And
then you're kicking him in the nuts, and you're kicking him in the nuts.
You mean like those selfish guys? Yeah, they're kicking
each other in the nuts, basically.
Yeah, and like in our locker room, no one's getting kicked.
We wanted to lift our nuts. We had to lift ourselves up.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for today.
Wow.
Thank you for joining us here.
It was a pleasure.
On Beyond the Scoreboard, Quinn.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
It's a pleasure.
We'll be back with another episode later. Oh, that is Beyond the Scoreboard. Thanks for coming, Quinn.